Hi everyone, my name is Arju Bhattacharya and oneirology is the scientific study of dreaming. For the past few centuries, nothing of this sort was invented because you can't hold or measure or taste dreams, right? In fact, most of the tests that were conducted, almost always the verdicts were quite unreliable. And as a matter of study, it has been seen that within the first 10 minutes, 95% of the dreams content were forgotten. But in 1952, something amazing happened. Scientists found this. In this unique stage, most of the people who were woken up were found dreaming. During this stage, the eyelids of the human being sleeping are darting all over the place under their eyelids, and if somebody observes them during their sleep, they can clearly see it. In this stage of REM sleep, the electrical patterns in the brain are almost mimicked when the brain is actually awake. And also in this stage, certain hormones like norepinephrine, serotonin and histamines are blocked, for which no muscle in the body is allowed to move. And that's why you can dream of flying and running around without actually running and flying around. Before moving forward, I need to tell you that people suffering from a disorder called REM atopia can actually move and act out their dreams, and it is also possible for them to be completely awake but not be able to move. This is called sleep paralysis, and it is also possible that you're dreaming but you are completely aware that you're dreaming. This phenomena is called lucid dreaming. Researchers tried to understand more about REM sleep, and they did it by entrapping a mouse and depriving it of having a REM sleep. This was done by inverting a cup into a bucket which was filled almost to the top of the cup, so that the mouse doesn't submerge into water but the cup does. And when it was observed that the mouse was falling asleep, but when it was getting into REM sleep, it would fall in the water and wake up. And this was done a couple of times, and when they tested the mouse of memory, it had a terrible memory. And this happens with humans as well. If you teach a person a pair of words or a number table, and if you don't let him have REM sleep, the next day chances are he or she will not remember it properly. But if you observe their electric patterns in the brain while they are learning and when they are sleeping, it is seen that they are almost similar. It's almost as if it is being replayed in their brain. There are many theories pertaining to why we dream, but they are mere variations of one specific idea, that when we sleep, our unconscious part of the brain is actually trying to configure and basically organize memory and deleting the junk so that it does not clog our brain. And during that process, it is picked up by the conscious part of the brain, and it just freaks out and just makes something of a story, which is a dream. It's basically just the cluttering of noise that is being organized by the conscious part of the brain. Sometimes dreams are referred to as epiphenomena, which means that it is basically a product of something which does not really have a purpose. Many researchers disagree though. They say that it must have a purpose, since they draw the conclusion that we as a ancient human species had the advantage because we dreamt. It's basically because most of the dreams are about anxiety, and that prepared us for the threats that we would encounter. And partly that is something very cool about a dream. Like, this is the pillars of creation. We know that it is 4.5 light years long and almost 30 trillion kilometers tall. We know almost what it is made up of and what causes it and what will happen to it in the future. But last night I had dreams, and nobody knows what, why, or why it is useful or useless. And that's something very cool about it. And that's why, as always, thanks for watching.